Hello and welcome back. It's Shirley on Sunday again, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit today about delayed emotional reactions. I'm getting ready to write a blog post about this, and I thought it was pertinent to, especially the holidays, facing the families of your family of origin. Yeah. So anyway, delayed emotional reactions. I'm sure each of you have experienced this since you have DID. That you go to your therapist, you talk through some hard stuff, but you leave feeling you either pretend you're feeling better or you don't know you're not feeling better, and you leave and you get to the car, start driving, and all of a sudden you break down, and it's one of the most dangerous things you can do, or you dissociate to the point where you don't know what's going on around you. Um, that's a delayed emotional reaction. You're expressing the emotion after the event, which makes sense if you think about it. In our childhoods, we were not allowed to express our emotions. Expressing emotions could make things worse. So many of us stuffed it, and we stuffed for people with DID. We stuffed it into altars. Those altars are holding your emotions, especially the child altars, because there's no way to escape. When you were a child, you didn't have any power. Forget about that idea. You had no power. Um, and it was a bad situation for you. So when the events would happen, when they'd occur, um, instead of getting angry and thrashing about and screaming or whatever you needed to do because you just got hurt by someone, abused by someone, we pushed it into compartmentalized it so it wouldn't be expressed. All right. And we pushed it into altar. We formed an altar to push it into, and they hold our emotions. So now, as adults, um, we find ourselves having difficulty expressing emotion or having a delayed reaction. I can give you an example. There was a man who was in love with me, and I saw it, but I couldn't respond. My emotions were just shut off when it came to that. And so I lost him to somebody else. Eventually, it was years before he decided I was never going to respond. But after he, quit working where I did and stopped talking to me anymore, I suddenly had a delayed reaction. It was like I cried, I wept, I still do a little bit over that loss. I cry over the fact that I couldn't say, express my love for him, and that's just sad. Um, and it goes directly back to my past. I mean, it was dangerous to have someone love you back then because they really didn't love you, but they said they did. And you're supposed to love them because they're your parents or your grandparents or your whoever, brother, sister, um, babysitter, whoever. You're supposed to be able to trust them, and you couldn't. And when they hurt you, you just pushed it away. And now we have delayed reactions when we go out. We go to the therapist and we get upset inside, but we don't show it sometimes. We don't show it on the outside. I know for years, for 2 years, I saw a therapist and didn't cry. But when I got out of her office on the way home, I would have this delayed reaction where I had to cross 4 lanes of traffic and I was out of it. I was crying so hard I couldn't see and dissociating after that. It was dangerous. The best thing to do with that situation, and this is what my therapist and I finally landed on, was to give a 10-minute cool down at the end of every session. If you have an hour session, talk for 50 minutes about the abuse, and then give you 10 minutes to talk about nothing, the weather, sports, whatever, whatever you could talk about that had nothing to do with the abuse. Um, but I wanted to tell you that's normal. And as you go along with your therapy, um, and you begin to express those emotions, once they're expressed, the need for that altar diminishes. Okay, doesn't go away. They're not going anywhere. They can't. They're you. But it diminishes the strength of the emotions they're holding. It's like letting air out of a balloon very slowly, so it doesn't go. You know, you let it out too fast, or if you don't let it out at all, it could pop. Um, I mean, that's delayed emotions, and I'm writing about it right now. It's a lot more complicated than I'm saying here because I write much better than I speak. Yeah, that's the way it is. And anyway, I wanted to tell you all I care about you. I know it's getting close to Christmas. Hang in there. It's almost over. And I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.